You know that feeling you get when you walk into a room, they see you, you smile? Yeah, that's the love ring. Come on, walk with me. Love rays, I feel the sun against my face. In this case, my beating heart is in a love place. Love rays, you put a smile on my face. In this case, our hearts are bound and we got love rays, baby. Now I didn't go looking for love, you see your love, it came and found me. I believe in miracles, 'cause there's one right before me. Rays of love warmed up my broken heart, so deep that I can shake off.
Ah,
Oh,
there we go.
happy Saturday,
The joy of technology.
right? Happy Saturday. We are in the house. It is another episode of Not Your Typical Girl Talk, and there's going to be nothing typical about this talk. Before we do our introductions in alphabetical order, we want to thank Radio Regent and iHeartRadio that keep us on the air every Saturday, even though we tiptoe on the line a little bit. But thank you, Radio Regent and iHeartRadio. And as usual, we are going to introduce ourselves in alphabetical order.
Hey, what is going on, world? I am not a rapper. Hey, this is Garcia.
That's why you tried it. It's all good. The beat was there. The beat was there. So it's all right.
We are out here enjoying life and enjoying all of you joining us here on Not Your Typical Girl Talk. We talk about all the foolishness that is going on this thing that they call the internet. And we are giving you the Black perspective on these things. We are basically, this is what you want to know. This is what you're not hearing at the water cooler at work. This is what you're not hearing. You're not hearing the truth from your friends out on the street, but we're here to tell you the truth. So thank you for joining us this week. And already gonna say it, forgive us. Telly and I are down with nice, sweet head colds. So we are heavily medicated. So we have no idea.
So we don't even
what
know
might come out of our mouths. And thank the Lord, it is not the Armagnon.
It's not a Mario.
It's not the
Thank God,
Armagnon.
thank you, Marion.
It's not COVID. So we are good.
Hallelujah. It's not a Marion. It's not Delta. It's not
No,
Samantha, whatever name they decide to come up with next.
None of that.
Hello, everyone. My name is Telly. I'm a proud member of the Not Your Typical Girl Talk crew. And like Christy said, the foolishness is real. Today is no different. Actually, today's going to be very interesting because even on our planning call, it was just like, yo, when you get blessed twice and you still screw up, I don't know what to say about you at that point. But anyway, we'll leave that to our convo. Sheba girl, tell who you is.
I am Sheba. Robert called me Cleopatra the other day, so maybe I need to be like Sheba Cleopatra or something new because he says I'm a bit of a princess. But I am Sheba. I am the final female member of the Not Your Typical Girl Talk crew. And I'm sorry, ladies. I feel like we sent you whatever we had because we were experiencing the same thing just like last week. So
oh no, girl,
feel better, please. And I'm glad it's not the Omarion because you don't need none of that. But
it's that Omarion. He's going around touching everyone he can with his athletes and his runs.
Doing the most. But before we get into this topic, the episode is called The Ring versus the Brand. Ladies, this is specifically, I mean, every week it's usually we're targeting the ladies, but this week specifically, The Ring versus the Brand. But my partner in crime, because I'll choose The Ring, will introduce himself.
It's your boy, Robbie, three times. Once again. And what's The Ring?
Versus the Brand.
Versus the Brand.
You know, getting that bag.
That's going to be an interesting topic. Looking forward to it.
So if you people don't know already, we the ladies sit down every week and we plan and we go through what's going on the internets and what people are talking about on the internets. And this has been on for a while, but we thought it was interesting because we happened to watch a video by a young lady, Chantel Jackson, who's been tied to both Mayweather and most recently Nelly. And she was on, was it the Real Daytime again? Because
I think it was the real.
I think it was the
I think it was the real.
because we just had to do a show about what their interview style just the other day, because just say it needs some work. Anyways,
Girl.
she was on telling why after 7 years together, her and Nelly were no longer together. They were apparently taking a break. Before I play the video, Rob, as a man, do you believe in taking breaks? Like, what happens if we take a break? Is that a break or a breakup?
I don't think we care. We're not going to spend any time thinking about it like that because we're not programmed to do that. Like, my advice would be is if you don't want your man in them streets, don't break up with him.
Because that's what a break is, right? To
A
me,
break
a
is
break
a
is
breakup.
a breakup.
It's a breakup. There's no break. It's just you go
I don't
your
know what
separate
you call
ways.
it a break. That's why men have break babies. There's several celebrities we know who have had break babies because in their mind, we're no longer together. So this idea that we take a break and we go find ourselves, why are we trying to find ourselves in our 30s and 40s? What are we finding? What are we finding that 30-something or 40-something years hasn't caught up with us yet?
Girl.
I got a better question. What's wrong with seeing yourself the way the man that you chose to be with sees you?
Also
That part.
I'm just wondering.
yeah.
It's all facts.
I mean,
It's facts.
whoever
I'm pretty sure it's not
does that
derogatory because
and
he
you have
wouldn't
an
be with you
answer,
either,
please
you know?
let us know. We'd love to know what you think.
Because ladies, if you need to find yourself in your 30s and 40s because you're going on a journey of, I'm going to find myself, I'm going to be, no. Why didn't you pick yourself up in your 20s?
That part.
on the way to 30s, you couldn't have picked yourself up. I'm not, so ladies, if you're taking a break from your man hears it as we're breaking up, and I'm able to go on these streets and do what I do, and don't ask me no questions when I come back, if I come back.
If I come back. And most likely the man should not come back, to be brutally honest. Because, like, I don't know, I'm very, like, there's a lot of things where it's either black or white. Yes, I know that there's some gray area, but when it comes to the whole break, I just see it as, okay, it's either you're on or you're off. Like, let's not hold each other hostage and, you know, sit here with each other knowing that, well, I'm just going to sit here and you're going to sit there. We're not going to date anyone or do anything. We'll hold each other hostage until we both feel like, okay, I want to pick you up now. That's like picking up a rag doll, playing with it, and throwing it back down again. I just don't see the whole taking a break kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't see how that works.
Exactly. And like, you know, I had a therapy session the other day because Black people need therapy all the day. Every day. And we had a chat, and the chat was around, you know, figuring out that I am the sort of person that is like, if we're done, I don't want to work on it. I don't want to see where this goes. I'm just done and out the door, moved on, constantly moving, not stopping for you to catch up. And for me, the idea of a break, first of all, a break doesn't help the situation. What, you're both going to take a break from each other so you can work on your relationships separately?
I guess so.
And therefore, you're going to work on the relationship separately and then magically come back together like nothing happened?
Yes, bro, because they're going to take notes separately, and then they're going to bring their notes together and compare.
Like, that's
not even, let's keep it 100. That's not even, that's again one of those toxic ass feminist concepts that comes from, I'm going to break up with him with the expectation. It's like that mentality, that notion is like a woman putting a man in timeout in her mind.
Oh, not the time
You know what I'm
out.
saying?
That's it.
I'm going to put
It's
you in
the woman thing.
It's a
timeout.
mother
You go
child.
sit in the
Child
corner
thing.
with your
Mother-child
nose in the
relationship.
corner and think about what you've done. And he's gonna think about what he's done
With
at
somebody
Sugar
else.
Bears. You know,
Somebody else.
He's moved on to the next. Yo, Alexa.
he's gonna go on down to
please
Sugar Bears
listen
and do what he does.
Jay-Z. On to the next one. On to the next one. On to the next one.
That-
on
I
to
mean-
the next one.
Freeze.
Because
Somebody,
Because look, again, the fella's point of it. If the relationship, there's been tension in it, right? There's been tension, so things haven't been great. And now you're talking about take a break. For you, you might go home and cry and be like, oh. For him, that was almost a release. That tension is gone now.
Ladies,
He's
you
a
hear?
free man.
I mean,
He is
He is
ready
not.
to
You don't got to
go.
worry about the tension right now. And all of a sudden, he says, this feels nice. I'm going to Sugar Bears.
right. I mean, I hope the ladies are listening, because all of this right here is the truth that I was talking about. No man, even if you have a very sensitive man that is, you know, very in touch with that softer side of himself, he is not going home to the apartment, rolling
No.
on the ground, bawling
No.
about how you wanted to take a break. He is
Imagine.
not doing.
What
He
happened?
is not doing it. He's not.
Nah.
Before I get into the
He's not
videos,
doing
I can see our viewers are interacting. If you ladies can read some of the things that are being said. Sorry, we're a little far from our
No
camera.
worries. No worries. So let's see here. So I know that, let's see here, my regular Naturally Fierce. Nelly is not going to get married or settle down.
That's what it looks like.
Girl, I agree with you on that. I agree. And our girl, Evangela, the actress. It's a breakup. It's a breakup, period. Learned it
Period.
the hard way.
Okay,
Aw,
sis.
sorry, girl. But yeah, it's a breakup. There's no break.
Yeah,
And
this
that's
is
a
not
woman
high
speaking
school.
from experience. And thank you for sharing that experience, because again, and girl, if you want to come on and join us live, we'd love to have you on to
Yeah,
talk
man,
about that,
share it.
because the
That's
reality
here.
is, again, Rob is right. We keep being told these things as women, that yes, we, you know, if your man can understand that you need to find yourself, then you need to leave. No.
Hold on, though.
If you, what? What's going
Hold on. And this is what my mentor, my therapist would say. They would say, why can't you find yourself with that person?
Because again, you're going to work on your relationship separately and come back together. We can't do that. As two people in a relation, we have to fight through it. You didn't fight hard enough to stay together, so you're going to take a break and then come back together to fight hard to stay together?
Right.
That's ridiculous.
Like, and
Look,
it makes no
That makes
logical
no
sense.
It makes no sense.
And it's too many of y'all women out here thinking your man want Wonder Woman and he want Mother Teresa.
A little louder for the people in the back, Rob, 3 times.
Step on our
Too
butt.
many women, for real. Like, they think that they man want Wonder Woman.
No.
He don't. He wants like Mother Teresa, peaceful. No.
Like,
Relax.
the thing is, and this is another
You know
thing.
what I mean? Like, I don't, you know, again, I'm sure he'd like her to be a little freakier than Mother Teresa. But,
Yes,
man,
you definitely want to be Mother Teresa.
Sometimes, you know, we got sometimes.
but that
we-
energy, that peaceful energy, that's what men want in a woman, not beating
Right.
up
That's it,
supervillains.
exactly.
You know what it is? Women have to get back to that time when they were goddesses and priestesses, meaning
Playing
they
the
were
heart, like,
they were loving. They
That's it.
they have nurturing characteristics. They want to help. They want to create. They want to help give birth to something. Like, so men, I believe that too, Rob. Men are looking for women that are just nice, kind. They're witty. They can be funny. You know, they make them
They
laugh.
don't
They make
have
them go,
that,
girl,
what you
you're
say,
a
energy.
psycho. Like,
That's it.
Well, like,
But it's
No,
all
again,
in
ladies,
love.
in love.
It's in love. It's in
well, like Uncle Kevin says, feminine, beautiful, inspirational. And it's an
Uh-huh.
emphasis on the inspirational.
Yes.
Like, we're not sitting here like we have some great and perfect relationship. We don't. However,
No.
even before the show,
There's
Rob
no
has a
such thing.
tendency to do everything last minute. So instead of barking at him and said, how can I help you be better so that you
Right.
can be on the things that I need you on? So I'm like, I was like, okay, what can I do as your woman? Because I'm not going to bark at you about it.
No,
What can I do?
right.
He's like, babe, you know what? It's on me. I need to do better. But the energy would have been very different if right before the show I was like, if you don't, come on, like,
Or
you're
you'll never do better. You're just a loser, and you're never gonna.
No, that's not
No.
necessary. You're a team. And that's not how teams work.
And
You're not
that's
gonna go
why,
and bark after Rob, and Rob isn't gonna bark after you.
Right.
It's a give and take. All right, what can we do together
Right.
to help each other?
And that's where the
You're
greatness
together,
comes
not
from,
as a
right?
team, not an
Like,
individual thing.
You know, Steph Curry, you know, he gave Rolexes to,
right?
you
to
know,
half his
a few of
team.
his teammates, because it was like, the reason why I'm great is because we came together as a team. But I'm now being, you know, great than everybody else on the planet. So now I am giving you these Rolexes, y'all, to say
That's it.
thank you for helping me be great.
That's
That
it.
is actually how relationships
That's how it's supposed to go.
work.
That's how it's supposed to go.
that part. You guys, I know we are connected because I was gonna bring up ball, right? Because we're ball people. Like, I was gonna talk about the chemistry between a basketball team. Now, basketball team doesn't generally, the two-star players don't rip apart and then come back together a couple of years later and say, now we're going to be better. It doesn't work. They work through their crap as teammates. They don't separate and come back. So I don't know why people don't put the same emphasis. Before I play the clip again, I see some wonderful messages again.
Yeah, let's see here. So, Naturally Fierce says, I don't think she was being truthful about why they broke up. It's definitely more to the story. Yes,
Most
and we're going to talk about that girl. We're going to talk about that girl. And then, so Nelly, when he did what he did to Ashanti, amen to that. He thought the grass was greener, and it wasn't. Also very true.
That part.
So we are about to play this video of Miss Chantel Jackson talking about her split from Nelly, or like we like to say, and Rob just said to me, her version of what this split is like. Give me a moment.
There's two sides to every story, but the PR version.
On the road with him, traveling out of the country on concerts, all that good stuff. But then when it came to a point where I was home more often building my company Shoe Gummy or just working on my brand, and him being on the road, me being on the road less with him, we started to grow apart. And we just had to come to the realization of, look, let's take this time and see if this split is going to bring it back full circle for us. And honestly, like, that's what we're doing.
Oh, so it's a break.
Boo. That's a lie. She said exactly
Big ol'
what
lie.
happened.
She's capping
She said
so
it,
bad.
listen to what she said.
It's a
She
full
said,
cap.
in the beginning, I was always with him. I was always traveling. I was always about Nelly. And then I started wanting to be Wonder Woman. And as I was home more, working on being Wonder Woman, Nelly was like, okay, cool. I'm going to find Mother Teresa who just wants to travel and be about Nelly.
Right.
Duh.
Here's the thing, ladies, because we like to do research, we did some digging.
Oh, we did.
And as of recently, the most recently reported of Nelly's net worth was $65 million. For what I could dig up from Chantel and her Shoe Gummy, just look that up yourself, her net worth was $3 million. And so her man was ex-man. It was worth about 21 times more than her net worth, but she wanted to stay home and work on her brand. If you do not know, Chantel Jackson's previous relationship prior to Nelly was with Mayweather. Mayweather's recent net worth is $1 billion.
He's hella.
They were together for 8 years. So for the last 15 years, she's been in relationship with two powerful men, these high-value men that women are calling into Uncle Kevin to say they want. She had two. Spent 8 years with one, 7 years with another. That's 15 years. She got with Nelly. She got with Mayweather when she was 22. She's now 37, and she's taking a break from Nelly.
Right.
Please explain to me how she effed that one up.
And I also I just want to remind everyone that, you know, the ring never actually, nothing came out of it. There was no positive outcome out of these two relationships that took up half of her life. So yes, Rob.
Let's do some baby daddy algebra. 15 years, 2 baby daddies worth 160
She doesn't have no
million.
babies with them.
Oh, well, whatever it is. Okay,
Two boyfriends.
2 boyfriends, $160 million net worth.
One
After
point, no,
15 years.
1.65 billion.
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, money, yeah.
Yeah,
Mayweather,
well, a billionaire now.
All right. And
Mhm.
in 15 years with these 2 men, and you working on your brand, you've accumulated $3 million. So you basically, you tanked your relationship to go to Nelly and say, here go $3 million to put with the 65. And you thought that he was like, yeah. No, he wasn't. Again, how a man, like me and her are building a brand together.
Right.
Thank
Look,
you.
a man that already is established has a significant net worth. When he sees you start trying to do you, guess what he's thinking? Did you want to do you?
You want to do you.
This
You
is
don't
him,
want to
this is,
care for
this
him
is him
anymore.
walking away, everyone.
He's
Because
gone to find his Mother
this
Teresa.
Right. When you're with an established man, he expects it to be about him. That's the benefit of being with me. You don't have to worry about doing you, dummy.
You know what? All of that. And I do want to say this too, because what we have here, and I'm going to bring up, you know, the privileged white woman and tell you what they do. Because I know white women that are in the same situation that have husbands that are in entertainment. You know, they're either on the business side of music, or their husband like plays guitar or is in a band or whatever. That woman, this is what I've realized about these women. Tour time, they pack the laptop.
That part.
They pack the kids. They're like, we're going on tour with dad. And they get on the bus, they get on the plane, whatever the vehicle is, and they are on the road with the husband, making sure he's eating properly, making sure he's getting in his rightful sleep, making sure he's making the right connections, because they're going to the industry parties too and looking out for his bag. So they're there talking to executives on his behalf. They're out there doing all of that, and they got their laptop, they're typing in the networking things that they've done. And if they have their own brand, they are incorporating their husband. They're like, honey, let's work together on this idea that I have for this blog or something. Oh, honey, that sounds like a great idea.
I'm sorry, y'all. I just gotta.
They're not out here trying to make whatever the hell shoe thing you're.
Girl, yeah, I'm sorry, Chantel, but you were with a billionaire. And then from a billionaire, you went to a millionaire. And her biggest concern was a shoe pacifier.
That's basically it.
She left Nelly to create shoe pacifier. The stupid little cushion for your foot.
Oh,
These
She
men,
left Nelly
these
Dummy.
men
to do that.
right? And these men aren't just financially blessed, but they have the public image as well.
sis,
So
be smart about it. Like, you with multi-millionaires for 15 years. Here's some advice, kids. Save your allowance. Okay? How you would have saved more than $3 million just pocketing your allowance.
thank you.
She definitely got an allowance.
So again, but
Hand
no,
that
these
money
women,
and
they
put
do
it in
the
a piggy
dumbest
bank.
stuff. If Floyd gives you $15,000, why would you go shopping with that money?
I'm spending about
Make
$5
him
and $10.
take you shopping. Make him literally spend the money on the clothes. When he gives you cash, ladies,
You put it in the
pocket
bank.
it. Save it.
Get an investment
So if
account.
he does get rid of you, you have some money put up. Not a wardrobe that you got no house to live out of.
Sense.
And that's what bothers me, because it's like, okay, girl, you're worth $3 million with the men you had. And like we were saying, Sheba, you brought up a good point during our call. You know, Mayweather, he's had women. We all know he's been around, but he made her public.
Yes.
You know, it wasn't like he was hiding her away
Nope.
like the rest of them.
Nope.
He made it very
She
public
was on
with
a
her.
reality show, girl.
And he gave her the rock. I looked up the rock.
He
and
did.
He gave her a rock.
She got a reality
She
show
got her own
deal.
show. And then with Nelly, he was very
Public
about
again.
her as well.
When Nelly hit Ashanti, he made her public.
He made her public. So the fact that she's still talking about fighting herself and getting a brand and all this, it's like, girl, who cares? If I were in her shoes, I would have married Mayweather the same time he made the ring. I'm not gonna sit there for another 7 years or so, waiting like, oh yeah, you know, I got the rock.
Girl.
Just sit here and wait.
And let me just say,
Start planning that ceremony, girl.
I want to say this.
She got struck twice with lightning.
Well, girl,
Thank
And
you.
she screwed up both.
I know.
Won the lottery twice.
I'm sorry.
Twice.
Again, ladies, what's wrong with being that nigga woman? That's
Thank
it.
you,
That's
girl.
who you
23
are.
times.
That
Thank
whole
you.
part.
What's wrong
That-
with that?
Exactly that.
I'll tell you what's wrong.
Exactly that.
Let's tell you what's wrong. Because we need to be our own women. Because everybody needs to be a hashtag boss chick. And I need to be independent. And
Yeah.
I need to be
I
my
agree.
own. I have no problem. Thank you. Right? Like,
That's
no.
foolishness. But
Yeah.
all the women that
That's
were
it.
the 3 women that were singing that sound the loudest, and we were all out
Are
there
married.
are married. Married to well-to-do men too, not off the street.
And they know to
losers.
separate their brand from being a wife. They're not out here. Beyonce is not out here.
I'm
walking
sorry.
around in her onesie.
I can't take care of kids
Yeah,
right now.
but
I'm working on my
Jay-Z.
brand.
You need to tell me
Like the crazy cat in those memes.
So you need to tell me Chantel can just take her little tablet or take her little laptop and get on the bus with Nelly? She couldn't do that?
This is why she's capping.
She's
This is why I said when I played that on the call, I was like, oh, that's a nice PR statement. Her PR did a great job writing that for her because that's not the truth, woman. What Rob said is the truth.
Yes.
You stopped being about Nelly and wanted to be about yourself.
That's it.
And ladies, whether we like it or not, these, again, they're calling it high value men, whatever. Men with means.
Yes.
A man who's willing to take care of a woman. They want you to be about them. Rob was like, what does it look like? He's like, I don't even care if I can't find my sock. You know where it is. When I turn around and I'm like, oh, Toshiba's out there building a brand, and I like, where's my sock?
Oh, no. No, it was good, but no. I had to say,
I know.
My sock?
it sounds messed up, but on some real talk,
I'm
like,
here building my brand. Find your own sock.
no, but as men, we think like real talk. There's like maybe being a mother to our children.
Right.
Yes.
There's no job that we are going to consider more important than being my woman.
Absolutely.
Agreed.
Like that's the real of it. Your man might not. It sounds really like we get slapped on the wrist for saying stuff like that these days, but that's how we think for real.
Well,
You know what? I just gotta read.
You could be
Yeah.
Hold on.
whatever.
Hold on. They got some
I'm
comments.
sorry, Robbie, 3 times. It's that yeah, because everyone's chiming in. Yes.
yeah.
So Evangela, she says because look at Keisha Noir.
Keisha Noir is a great example
She's a perfect
of
example.
a woman who knew what to do at the right time.
Mm-hmm.
With
Now,
her man.
Oh, and before you could chime in, Cara, Judith, she also says here, maybe being chosen, maybe being wifey is your brand.
also that. And I want to talk about like those 2 comments. And
I love our
pulling-
viewers.
I know. And
I love
pulling-
y'all. Y'all
Y'all
just
so
hitting it
smart.
on the point.
Right.
You're so damn
Y'all so
smart.
smart.
Yes.
The idea of timing. We have women out here who were doing very well, being independent, but guess what? They knew when to calm down. Michelle Obama, we see you. She was a better lawyer than Barack Obama.
Thank
But
you.
guess what?
She was.
When did we learn that? We only learned that after his presidency was done.
Yeah.
Because she became the first lady and became a wife. even Meghan Markle, say what you will about her, but she gave up the acting
Gave up her acting
career
career.
and the starring role on a hit show so she could go sit with the queen for a few months to get her man and then finally convinced him to leave that foolishness
Girl.
that we call the monarchy. Yes, I see you, Meghan. And then we have Keisha Noir.
She did that.
Gucci Mane, he had to go to jail. But
She
what did
made
she do?
him money.
What did she do
She
while he was
made
in
this man
jail?
money.
Yes. And now look, now she has time. She built her makeup business.
Yeah.
She did that, but she did it in the right time.
That's it.
Your man needs you right now. There will be time for you to do what you need to do.
Exactly.
And let me add with Keisha, where do you always see her? Beside her man.
Beside her man.
Beside her
I
man.
don't think I've ever seen public pictures since Gucci came out of Keisha by herself.
And here's
I don't think
another
so
thing
either.
that people don't understand, because again, I really like their relationship. She makes her money off of Gucci.
Yes.
She didn't
Yes.
try to go start a whole new enterprise somewhere else and be like, make Keisha a whole separate brand. She bought her brand up under his umbrella, and that's why her shit's successful. Excuse my friend. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
Seriously, this woman is trying to do something completely separate. She wasn't trying to like revive apple bottoms
No,
or
she was
nothing.
not.
Thank you.
Like that would have been genius. And
part.
Nelly would have
She
totally
didn't involve him.
supported that
She was
move.
not trying
But
to
she
give
wanted to
men
do something
apple
totally
bottoms.
different. And it's like, that's dumb.
Apple bottom jeans.
Listen, that was an excellent point. For those who do not know, Nelly had apple bottom jeans. In full transparency, back in the
No,
day,
so I
they
got
came
no.
to Toronto to find an ambassador for their jeans, and I actually
It
went
was the
out for
hottest
apple
thing.
bottoms.
It
Like
was
back in the
it
day,
was
like
hot.
2006,
They were a crazy
2007,
hot brand.
they were
She
an
was-
amazing brand. So just like how FUBU reinvented
Mhm.
themselves, she could have turned around and said, babe, since I'm going to be on this road with you, let's talk about how we can recreate. Let's
Yes.
rebrand apple bottoms. Let's bring it to the forefront. But no, like Telly said, she wanted to go make shoe pacifiers and talk about let me do my brand.
Right? And before I go on, I'll quickly
I'm sure Nelly told
reset.
me that was dumb.
Oh,
This is not your typical girl talk. We talk about all the foolishness that's happening on these internet
girl.
streets, and the
foolishness for
perspective
real.
is coming from us, the one and only Not Your Typical Girl Talk crew. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you, Radio Region, syndicated through iHeartRadio, for allowing us this platform to share the good news that is Not Your Typical Girl Talk.
That was a jam though.
So,
Bottom jeans.
yeah, and I want to say about
Her.
Nelly's career,
The whole
for
time
anyone that's
looking
not
at
paying
her.
attention,
She hit the
he
floor.
is
Next thing
right
you know,
now.
you sure got no.
Okay. Thank you.
Sorry.
Thank you. You know,
We are doing the most.
She went low, girl.
I just don't know.
I do want to say on the business side of Nelly, because actually one of the last concerts I went to before the pandemic was one of those retro
Yes.
90s concerts, and Nelly came to Toronto.
Yes, he did.
And everybody who was everybody, I saw so many
And,
friends from the entertainment industry. Drake was there.
Drake was there.
Like everyone turned up to see Nelly
Yeah, it's crazy.
at
Nelly
this show.
Nelly still has a very
He-
powerful name.
yes,
He's one of
he
the
is-
few that survived.
He is going to right now, because retro, vintage,
Yeah.
whatever you want to call it,
Yeah.
music is so in. This is the time. This is the time. If I was with a man right now that had hits in the 90s, I would be helping him to revive his career, because the time is now
Time is now.
to do that. And
Definitely.
she did not have a business mind for him. And that's the first mistake. Women, we're supposed to be the man's muse.
That's right.
Oh,
That's a
girl.
very good point.
We are supposed to inspire them to want
Inspire
more.
them.
You know, like I'm an old school chick.
Right.
I believe that women are the inspiration for why men do a lot of things. The reason why men went to war, the reason why they started fires and crap, was to save women.
Women.
So why are we out here not allowing them to do what they're supposed to do?
Because of feminism.
Feminism.
We keep coming back to that F word,
No.
man. Like, Jesus.
Because of feminism.
We
And
keep coming back to it.
that's the funny part. Like, you know, Rob before me, Rob would have never been doing this show. I don't think Rob would be like, and we now have 2 shows. So twice
Yes.
a week, I have him sit in front of a camera and do something that before me, he'd have been like, nah, I'm good. But when I came into his life, I said, you know what? You have such a presence. You have something. I'm like, and remember, we brought him in as a guest correspondent, and the response was so good because men started paying attention, and more women were like, it's interesting to have a male perspective. And then when I
Absolutely.
met him, I told him, we're going to end up doing our own show one day. And I
Absolutely.
created it, and
There
he's
you go.
on board. Because of the fact, for me, it was like, we're going to build together. I'm not
Right.
just going to do my own thing. I run things by him. If it's going to impact the home
Right.
and it's going to have a negative impact on the home, I'm going to run it by him.
Right.
Like, babe, you know what? This is what's going on. And for a lot of people, that's just way too traditional. Because again, I was out there fanning flames. Kirsty and Telly, you guys know, I was out there doing the thing, traveling, doing my thing, meeting
Yes.
powerful people. And that's all great. But at the same time, I'm now in a space where if my home is going to be impacted by actions that I take, my job is to protect my home. And so, yes, I run things by him. And for a lot of women, that's like, do you need his permission? No. But if, again, he can't find his
You're
sock,
a team. You're
That
a
can't
team.
find his sock.
I don't
Almighty,
care
you're a
if you
team.
just got the VP job at
He
Johnson
doesn't,
&
I can't
Johnson.
find my socks.
Don't care. I'm mad if you're at work being VP at Johnson & Johnson and I can't find my socks.
Because you're the only one who knows where my socks
You know,
Oh.
like, you know, I was watching a movie the other day, and one of the things I noticed, and it's one of these dramas, I wasn't even paying attention, but I did notice this man had a nighttime job. So he would come in the morning because he was at work all night. When he comes in, his wife, who is a nurse, so she's already working 16-hour days, but she was there, dressed to go. She put out his breakfast. As soon as he came in, she put out his breakfast with coffee and orange juice. Good morning, honey. How was work? And she sat down with him, and he's like, wow, this is great. Thank you. And I was like sitting there, and I was like,
Aw.
see, if all of us just did simple things like
Simple
this,
thing.
we wouldn't have these issues.
Simple.
Sheba?
Listen, I'm going to say something that you may never hear me say again. Black women, if you want to have a successful relationship, do what white women do.
I mean,
I will never say this again ever on the show.
yeah. And look, it
You-
takes a lot
what
for us
white-
to say.
it takes
that
a
white
lot for
woman
me to
is
say
doing
that.
something right. We
If
try.
you
We
want-
actually try to not say that on this show.
No, but and there's some situations where do what the white women do, and in this case, that's facts.
Because the truth is, as I tell people right now, I'm like, the people I see getting married, how many white weddings have I seen and been to in the past couple of years, and they're
Versus
still
black.
together versus.
Sadly.
So I'm sorry, I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's funny. We have this in black women. We always have a chip on our shoulder, so we're always just kind of angry when it's even with our partner,
With our man, and
with
it
our
shouldn't
own
be that
man
way.
that fell in love with you
Why are we
and is
mad at
there
him?
for you. But he's not here to hurt you. He's here to support you, to love you, and all he's asking
Watch
is
you,
exactly what
take
Rob
care
said.
of you.
Just to be a Mother Teresa, love him. Why is that not enough to just love him? Why do you have to be the center of everything? Why can't your man be the center? What's wrong with
And
that?
also, they put a ring on them in 6 months or less, says
Woo!
Naturally Fierce.
naturally,
That
you know
is
it's
true.
true.
That part.
Fact.
Let me say this, and it was a quote from a show we were watching, but Rob and I have talked about it so much. Every time Rob leaves the house, I am concerned because he's a black man and he's 6'9" on top of that.
Mhm.
Rob has to take shit from the world.
Yes.
Why does he want to come home and take shit from me? Sorry,
Exactly.
radio, but that's the reality.
The
So
person
the
that's
world
his
is
protector.
outside, and he's got to deal with it. He's a big, black, scary man in the eyes of a lot of people, right? And then he comes home, and in the place that he's supposed to get loved and caressed, I'm talking about me, 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 me,
All
me,
the
me,
day.
me,
All
and it's all about
day.
me, as opposed to being about him. I am very clear, and sometimes we get into spats because of it.
Oh, yeah,
We are
that's part
here
of-
because
that's part of
I
being in a
am
relationship.
obsessed with Robert. Okay, I am I kiss his face. I literally lick his lips. Like, I have an obsession with him. My love for him is palpable. Like, his mama even said to me today, if she's still on, it is nice to see if I die tomorrow, I've seen a woman love my son as close to I love him.
That's how it's
And
supposed
even
to
a
be.
man's mother, that is important. Mothers want to know that their sons have found someone who even
Yes.
remotely
True.
loves them as much. And I don't think Black women are thinking about that.
They're
Like,
not.
we
These
are
homes are
supposed.
broken, man. These homes are broken as hell, man. Like seriously, like, and that's where the generational curses, the cycles and stuff have to get people. Like, if you look at, like, that's why tradition has broken down so much, because you can't just do unconventional. It breaks down, and then you want to be like, okay, let's be traditional. Wait, it didn't get there that way. And I can't believe I'm talking like that, but think of traditional relationships. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? There's a courtship. The in-laws are actually involved. That's why it's called in-laws and not outlaws. Like
Thank you.
Boys, right?
And they busting shots
That's
at each
it.
other and stuff like that. My mother has a great relationship with her. She's passing the baton off of being the woman in my life as my
Right.
mother. Now
Right.
she's the woman of my life, and my mother helps her be a better woman for me, and she takes that advice and looks at her as a motherly figure.
That
And
part.
her father, I have the exact same dynamic with her dad, and
Right.
that's how it should. In a perfect world, that's how it should go. I don't know why we turned our back on it.
I don't know why.
Because we want to be in 8 and 7 year relationships and waste our lives because we
Okay.
want to work on it. Right?
And-
Can
and
we
you
get
know
back
what?
to the fact that the women wasted 15 years of her
Yeah.
life?
We came away with $3 million. Like, yo,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Let's talk about that, because for
That's-
me, you know, I'm the person that always says, and I've said it on the show many times, if after a year I don't have a ring on, or you're not saying, hey honey, when we get married, you know, around next year or whatever, we are I have to introduce you to my folks because I plan on proposing. That's the sort of narrative I should be hearing after a year of dating. The idea that anyone sat for 7, 8 years and that didn't happen, I'm sorry, girl. I'm looking at you. I'm not looking at Mayweather and
I'm not
Nelly.
looking
at
No,
you.
yeah.
You're not looking at her. She's the problem.
Two
She had
back-to-back
two-
relationships.
she got
I'm-
Two of them.
Twice.
I'm gonna give y'all another thing, and I'm gonna to how I see what she did and why she has the position that she has in my life. Not all facts to talk is she came into my life and she identified areas that could be improved, right? But instead of saying you need to do this better, you need to do that better, you need to do the third better, she jumped in and started acting and causing things to occur and move in those spaces where there was opportunities for advancement. Therefore, things started to advance. You did. Like, she came in, rolled up her sleeves, and got involved in my life and
Right.
That's
started
it.
making it better. She
Yeah.
didn't come in with the expectation that I was going to do that for
Right.
her. And that may sound jacked up to so many women, but that's not what men want. We want someone to come help elevate our situation. We're not looking for just another dependent. Like, that's not what men want.
I agree.
All
So
of
that's
them.
where this woman seems to have made the problem. Like, you were with two very successful guys, and rather than look for ways that you could nitpick and elevate, you wanted to, what was it, shoe pacifiers?
Girl,
What the
it's
shoe
hell
gummy.
is that?
It's the dumbest
Like,
thing.
that's
I
what I call it.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
pull it up so people know what
Like,
the shoe
yeah.
gummy is. I had to show
That's
it to
like-
the girls. It is first of all, the name is stupid.
Face cap fasteners. Like,
The
who
Yeah,
name
the
is
hell wants
stupid,
that?
and the product itself.
Doesn't make any sense.
And how does that
The name is
align
ridiculous.
with the brand of a woman that is, you know, in a relationship with a high value man wearing designer clothes and buying designer handbags? How does that fall into, like, it doesn't even make sense. Like, I don't know. Like, come
This
on.
is it.
y'all.
Yeah, it's interesting
Like, no.
because it's like we want the picture perfect relationship where we have the man next
Hold
to
on,
us.
I just want
but
to
we
show
don't-
people what Shoe Gummy is, just so you know.
Oh, girl.
This is Shoe Gummy. This is apparently it is an innovation in design and high heel comfort. Meet the world's first outer sole pad and the only outer sole proven to prevent foot discomfort caused by high heels. This is what she had to work on. This is Shoe Gummy. Can you
mean a
guys read
shoe
some of the
pacifier.
comments here? The shoe. I want to hear what some of the ladies are saying. And again, if any ladies want to join us, we still got a few minutes. You can come on live with us.
Shoot them.
So here we go. Interesting.
Stupid.
So Evangela, the actress, says for the Shoe Gummy, she should have put it with the Air Force One's Nelly song. See, like, hello, that is a deal.
That's called branding.
Like, a marketing company.
That's called branding.
A marketing company is ready. The marketing company is ready, sis.
Thank you. I don't know where.
Evangela works for a retainer of $10,000 a month.
Thank
so
you.
hire her.
Hire Evangela. Girl.
Thank you. That is smart business.
We, again,
I don't understand. her
maybe,
stance.
yeah, maybe women just aren't thinking in the right way. And we have to remember that at the end of the day, I'm a spiritual person, so I'm always going to go back to the Bible, and I don't care what anyone says, but, you know, when women were created, it was told that we're here to be a helpmate.
That's it.
That is what we're, you know, that is the purpose we're supposed to bring to the man. So if we're just out here telling him how he's a loser and, oh, you're never going to amount to anything, I'm like, well, the reason why he's not going to is because of you.
Because of you.
What are you doing
Because
to help this man?
she got
elevate?
hit twice by lightning. Some people don't even get to see either Mayweather or Nelly in their lifetime. And she was with
And
these
she was
two
sleeping with them.
men for a long
Living
period
in their
of
house.
time.
Living in their houses.
And she still
Screwed
blew
up.
it. Like, I'm never going to get over this.
And-
I have
Oh,
PTSD.
man, I could go on
thinking
and
about
on
it.
with
Please go on
the
and on.
male perspective of that, because I'm like, that's like a double-edged sword almost. It's like, so this woman obviously got some characteristics about her. It's almost like these dudes were waiting on Shoe Dummy to get it together
Not Shoe
and
Dummy.
figure out, like, once she feel like she's a good woman, once she figures out that I'm the whole situation, we gonna be good. And she kept working on Shoe Dummy.
She was giving
And
her the stupid shoe
It's
pacifier.
like, so eventually Floyd got
away
tired
a
of Shoe
billionaire?
Dummy. It probably took her 15 years to bring these things to market too. That's the sad part about
That's
it.
really,
Like,
yeah, that is the
like
sad part.
all she, like Floyd was probably dealing with like concepts and like, you know, conceptual and prototypes of shoe dummies and stuff like that. And like, again, they kept her around long enough that, again, they was probably hoping that, like, damn, maybe she'll figure this thing out. And eventually they just was like, yeah, nah, we took a break. Okay, cool. What I say about the tension, Nelly jumped straight on a flight.
Okay, I have to ask you a question, Robert. As a man, you meet a woman and she spent the last 15 years of her life with two of the most powerful men in their industry.
In their respectable industries.
Are you trying to date her? Like 15 years. Not one of them married her.
No,
And now you're making decent money, but you're making $3 million a year. Do you think, like, as a $3 million man, she dated a billionaire and a millionaire, as Telly said earlier, which are like a measly $3 million. What are you thinking about dating now, Chantel Jackson?
I'm telling you, there's some poor fool that's thinking, oh, she got game. She was with Floyd Mayweather and she got game. So he gonna get and like try to pick her brain and be like, Shoe Dummy. And again, even a guy with a net worth of 30,000 is gonna leave that alone because he's just like, if you keep investing in Shoe Dummy, your $3 million gonna go away.
Not Shoe Dummy. Shoe Dummy.
No, it's called Shoe Dummy. That's what I'm gonna call it.
Oh, shoot,
Why do you want to get into an industry like that? Dr. Souls owns all of that.
Dr.
ish.
Soul
So,
owns that.
Sis, you need, like, honestly,
Dummy.
if it were me
Come
and
on.
I was with a man like Mayweather or Nelly, I would have been like, babe, I saw that, a few years ago, Kanye bought stocks in Netflix and Amazon Prime for Kim. Could you do that for me? That's what I'd be doing. I'd be asking for every stock, Microsoft. I want it all, honey. Could we do that? And that way we can start building our retirement fund.
Listen,
Now you're a shoe dummy.
and whoever made the comment about apple bottom earlier. Oh, you guys got a good comment. I want to hear what it is. Oh, I thought you guys were reading something.
Oh, no.
Here is the thing. Whoever made the comment about apple bottom earlier, thank you. Because here's what could have happened. She could have said, listen, your career is taking off again. So proud of you. I'm with you. How do you feel of putting the situation where if I can relaunch and rebrand Apple Bottom to a place, we do a 75-25 split. It was your brand, I'm your woman, but me relaunching it, rebranding it, so forth. So then all of a sudden the shift in ownership happens. So guess what? Apple Bottom, because they were good jeans. Like if you wore it really did make, the pockets I could have done without sometimes, but the quality of the jean, it was Parasuka and Apple Bottom back in the day, right?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
I love
she could have done that. And this is why I agree with you. She's clearly got some good characteristics. Because here are two powerful men who wanted to be with her. But it is clear to me that she has a quality that a lot of us women have. She's selfish.
She is.
She wants it to be about her. And the problem is when you're on the road with your man, you are in his shadow. It cannot be about him. It cannot be about him. It cannot be. That's what she's thinking in her head.
Mhm.
It is about him. Girl,
It's
it
about
is
him.
about him.
He's it.
It's annoying.
But
It's like, no, seriously, like that. I've dealt with that type of energy. It's almost like a woman gets with you because you got a certain, let's just say, name, for lack of a better word. And then she starts to resent you when she becomes identified with that name. But it's like, then go make your own flipping name. But do that on your own time. Don't get with me and try to use my name to increase your visibility, to increase your name. Like, what are you doing?
Someone's got a comment. I saw Telly pop up.
Yeah. Look, I love what Naturally Fierce. She said Kimora, she did that with Baby Fat.
Right.
And Evangela, she says, because she was on the Lay's chips commercials with them. So, yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, she ended up getting a lot of attention because
Of her
like
man.
a full-on reality show, everyone. Do you know how many people out here want a reality show?
And that's what
I want a reality
I
show.
do. I'm working to get my reality show.
on. He
Like,
put her on in both
He was
relationships.
basically showing her he wanted to build a brand with her.
And she said no, Nelly. She said no, Mayweather. She
Shoot
pushed
dummy.
both of them aside
Shoot down.
because she wants the spotlight on her. But we were talking about this in our phone call. I'll be really quick with it. We were talking about how men want to be the hero. They want to be your hero. They want to be your hero. So let the man. Yes, okay. It's the Buckleys talking. But on all seriousness, let the man be your hero. We were talking about, he's bringing up white couples. We used David Beckham and Victoria Beckham as an example. Posh Spice.
Posh, yeah.
Before she had Victoria Beckham, the fashion line, she was a Spice Girl. She married David Beckham.
And she left.
And
that
she
ish.
left Spice Girls behind. She was there with David Beckham through it all. And then one day she said, I love fashion. I am sure she went to David Beckham and said, honey, we've been doing this together. I've been married now for, I don't know, maybe at the time, 5-6 years.
Yeah.
Who knows how long at that time. But she talked to him and he's like, you know what? You've sacrificed your life for me. You've been here with me through thick and thin. I'm going to help you out. I will invest to help you get your fashion line off the ground. And in her mind, she's like, oh, you're my hero. Thank you so much. Know how good that makes him feel?
And now they're still together and hella
together.
rich
4
because
kids later.
of all of that.
Doesn't she use the Beckham last name on the brand?
White people. White.
Yeah, it's the Beckham last name, right? Like the line is actually called
It's
Victoria.
called Beckham.
Beckham.
Victoria Beckham. His last
Whatever her whole name was.
Look at the again, they not doing well. They headed for divorce, but they held it together for decades. Bill and Melinda Gates. She bought herself to prominence by giving away his money.
Yeah.
she didn't try to be something else. She didn't try to start macking, like she didn't try to start Grapes, a whole new computer company, or no, she rode with his wave.
She rode his
They
way.
got ridiculously rich. She said, "Oh, let's start the Bill and Melinda
The Gates Foundation.
and she
That's
became
it.
super famous
Yeah.
for giving away his money. But again, she did it as a part
As
of
a part.
his brand, their family's brand. That's why a woman takes a man's name. Your life folds into his, not the other way around.
That
That's
part.
it.
It's a merger, y'all. It's a merger. It's
Thank
a
you.
literal
Yes.
merger.
I also agree with Evangela. Real quick, Sheba, so sorry. She says, y'all think Kanye didn't help Kim with Skims?
Right.
Yes, he did.
And Kim is
Oh,
still
of course he
thanking
did.
Yes,
him.
he did. And she's
At award
still thanks
ceremonies,
him.
her fashion award that she won a few weeks ago, she took the time to thank her estranged ex, whoever knows,
Because
husband, because she knows very damn well she was no fashionista.
she was no fashionista until
when
Kanye.
they were together.
She was not fashionista until Kanye.
My last comment, and Rob just made a point. Do you notice it was called the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation?
She put his name in front of it.
There's a reason of that. When I even do promos for our other show, Fuck Your Feelings, if you look on the promo set, it says Rob and Toshiba. It's not Toshiba and Rob. Even though I am actually the person behind everything that happens with the show, it's Rob, and I do that purposely.
Of course.
He's the leader. It doesn't matter what I'm doing in the background. It doesn't matter if I do 99.99999% of the thing. What it is to the world is, here is my leader, so it's Rob and Toshiba. It wasn't, Melinda Gates came up with that foundation, but you think she was going to say Melinda and Bill Gates? No.
Because she's smart.
You know when people say, they don't say Beyonce and Jay-Z. They say
No, they
Jay-Z and Beyonce.
It's Jay-Z and Beyonce. And she's fine with that.
She's fine
I've
with
never
it because
seen, Beyonce has never risen up and said, "Oh my goodness,
how dare you put Jay-Z's name ahead of mine?" No, and she's not going to. Because she's traditional. What is so wrong with your husband being in front of you? What's wrong with that? That's why I love what Judith said. What if being a wife is your brand?
Right, and Judith also
What is
said-
wrong with that?
And this can be my last point. I'm going to steal it, Judith. Thank you. The inability to play your position, that will always bite you. And that's the problem.
Woo!
Women are not playing their position.
They're not playing
And
their
this is why we
position.
are where we are. That
It's
is why
true.
Chantal is where she is right now.
On a break.
On her break.
And Nelly's doing the most.
Right.
There
We
will
can
be,
probably move
listen,
on to a gorgeous woman right now as we speak.
Right.
Rob and I will never break. There's no break. There's no breakup.
break.
There's no. And again, if it means that I have to stop the things that I'm doing, if we were talking, I just said to him today, like, if he gets a job in Dubai and I need to reroute the life, I'm
Then
leaving, like, I'm up and leaving. Like, there's no, well, babe, I've got, in this world of remote everything, girl, you
can go
can build
anywhere.
a brand from any part of the world. Stop it. The man said, you are no longer about me. Go about your business
Go about your
and go
business.
do what you got me. That's what happened. So Chantal stopped tapping. He said,
Chantal?
go about
Her
your
shoe
business.
caught fire.
I'm going to find a woman who wants to be about me and my business.
That's
Rob
it.
will tell you, I am about Rob and Rob's business.
That's
It
it.
is, whether women like it or not, whether whatever it is, yes, I am about Rob and Rob's business.
That's it.
No, seriously, her media company, that's our business. Again,
That's
it's
it.
not like she's running out working for the man talking about, I'm doing this for us. I don't look at it like that. Like we own our energy. We
That's
own we own our destiny, you know, so I'm all for that. But again, it's a synergy. It's not, she's not trying to build Toshiba up to be, yeah, she's just not trying to be Wonder Woman. She is Wonder Woman, but she's not trying to
Thanks, babe.
beat up supervillains. Like, you know,
Super
What you
villain.
I know.
Just what you got me.
I know it's
Oh.
tempting, ladies, to want to put on the Superwoman onesie. I've also been in,
Girl,
like, I
stop
wanna do
playing
that too.
Storm. You're not Storm
Right.
from X-Men.
Even the actress that plays Superwoman, trust and believe, she's at home,
She's at home
making
with
her
her
man
husband.
eggs and bacon right
She's
now.
taking care of her husband.
So
That part.
Yeah.
And we
But
are
I
going
love
to
these
go.
comments.
Go
Oh,
ahead, read the
Judith.
last comment.
Judith and Evangela, and y'all are on fire today. So Judith says, don't worry about building your brand, build your man. Let
Oh!
that sink in. And Evangela, the actress, my ass would be at one of his up-and-coming concerts because she tripping.
Yes.
And she is.
That whole part.
She's tripping.
All of that.
And the funny thing, she even said all that good stuff.
And all that good stuff.
So I was
All
like,
that good stuff.
and it
But
wasn't
no,
good
but she
enough.
And it wasn't
she
good
can
enough.
leave pacifier foolishness. So let her go with her shoe pacifier. And
Yeah, 'cause
hopefully
she wants to win the Des Moines Chamber of Commerce
Not Des
Businesswoman
Moines.
of
Good,
the Year.
good thought. We're going to go quickly, 30 seconds each or less, into our final thoughts because Rob is doing the most right now.
I'm just gonna say that's it. Like, figure out what you want. You can have a brand, but how are you going about it, especially when you want to be with a man that loves you and wants to keep you around? Think, use your mind, be strategic, ladies. That's it. That's all I gotta say.
My takeaway, I'm with Judith 100%. Being a wife is your brand. That's the brand. That's it.
When in doubt, choose the ring and the man over the brand. Do what the white women do. Sorry. Like, black, like,
Girls,
do
don't
what the white
apologize,
women do.
it's true.
You want a man, follow. There is a reason these white women are getting married in droves. That's my final.
Be like Gabriel Union.
Good example. You can get him the meeting, but you can't close the deal for him because trust me, that's not how the company on the other side is getting down. That's pretty much it. I think that was.
I got you, babe. I got you. And Tattletale, you
Kelly.
got lead us out.
Hey! Thank you guys so much for watching and for listening. Don't forget to follow us right here on Not Your Typical Girl Talk. We have a Facebook page. Find us on there under the same name, Not Your Typical Girl Talk. We have a YouTube channel. Find us under the same name, Not Your Typical Girl Talk. A huge, huge thank you to Radio Regent. Listen to our podcast. It's on iHeartRadio. Search for Radio Regent. Then you'll find it. You'll hear all of our past performances. All of our past episodes. Although it is like a performance because we're talking with passion and truth. So, grabbing air. Thank you all so much. Thank you all so much for listening, for watching. We're going to dance it out. Have an awesome weekend, awesome week. And until next time, we got Persia, we got Kelly, we got Queen Sheba, we got Robbie 3 times, and Robbie 3 times. Bye!
Oh, bye.
Hilarious. Hey,
You done it.
hey. Bye, guys.